BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey, I'm Sam, I'm your Thursday guy for BodyBags, and this week I am doing the taking of Deborah Logan. And I guess in a very short sense, a better version of what M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit should have been. The idea of this movie is that there's this old woman, Deborah Logan, and she's got Alzheimer's, and there's this crew that's kind of there to film her, so that people can have awareness on, Alzheimer's and whatnot. And then it starts going south because a lot of strange stuff starts happening, and it gets a lot of spiritual kind of things. Like, ooh, spooky. Ooh, whoa, she just jumped up there like that. That just opened up like that. Almost kind of like there's a ghost in the house, kind of thing. But, obviously it's different. I liked it. It's on Tubi right now. You should go check it out. To be completely honest, isn't a movie I'm going to be watching again? I'm not entirely sure about that, but what I could tell you for sure is that it was worth the watch, at least once. Because it was like, as I said, the better version of The Visit. I personally kind of like The Visit, but I can already look at this and be like, this is already like 10 times better. Honestly, with the cliffhanger ending Deborah has. Spoiler alert. So if you don't, alright, spoilers. There's a demon, and technically it's this guy, and the guy's trying to possess Deborah, because in the 70s he was killing these kids so he could do this ritual, and he needed 5, but he only got 4. Then he got killed. And so now he's back trying to take over Deborah so that she can go and basically kill the 5th one so that he can be immortal, kind of thing. And it's like, okay, he wasn't able to do it, we win, kind of thing. But then you see that the 5th person that was the victim, the person right now that ended up being the 5th kid, has like a weird kind of smile to their face where it's like, I don't know, there's something kind of more to her, almost as if that's him, kind of thing. But there's like a bunch of movies out there that came out 2005 to 2015 that there's a scene in the movie that defines it, right? Like if you saw that scene, you're like, oh yeah, that was from that specific movie. In this, it's the found footage looking for Deborah, and then finding her with her mouth all the way open, trying to engulf the head of someone. Because I remember when I was younger, I would go on YouTube and look up scary movie clips or whatever, and I remember that was one of them, and I was like, oh, kind of thing. But yeah, that was one of those scenes that you never forget, especially if you're young, because that was a whoa. And I didn't realize it's at the ending, which kind of sucks because I'm halfway through the movie and I'm like, come on, when's it gonna happen? Is this the right movie? It was. It just was at the very end. And the movie's about an hour and 30 minutes, but Tubi time, it's technically about an hour and 45-ish minutes because of Tubi and all the ads and whatnot. So, anyway, I thought it was a fine movie. Kind of sad. Because it's it's talking about Alzheimer's, and that's a real thing. But anyway, if I had to rate this movie right now, I'd probably give it something. I'd probably give it a 7.8. If there was anything I didn't like about this movie, it's probably that there was a lot of scenes that looked like it was about to be some kind of jump scare or something bad was about to happen, but then it doesn't happen. And you're like, oh, okay, that's great for the, tension's great for nothing kind of thing. It's one of those things. In which that can be fine. It's just I would rather something happen, because I hate when it's something's about to happen, and then it doesn't happen. You're it's that whole thing builds up and it's still there, and slowly kind of diminishes, and you're for it to explode, you need something to happen right after, and nothing happens, so it's just there still, and it kind of sucks. But anyway, I'm Sam. I'm your thirsty guy for body bags. I did The Taking of Deborah Logan, and I gave it a 7.8. There's nothing really technically wrong with the movie. Maybe some dialogue stuff. Probably some of the dialogue, honestly. But overall, it was a fine movie that is definitely worth a watch. And it's one of those movies that I kind of wish I had, because there's that one scene that I never forgot when I was a kid. Like, there was that scene, and then there's that playground scene from Clown, the ball pit whole thing. And I was like, yeah, you would see those clips when you're like 11, 12 kind of thing, and you're like, dang, that was crazy, man. And then you're like 18, 19 or whatever, and you're actually watching the movie, and it's like, dang, that was crazy, because you get the context of like the story and whatnot. So I'm Sam. I'm your thirsty guy for BodyBags. Taking up Deborah Logan, give it a 7.8, and yeah, that's about it. I guess I'll see y'all next week. Bye.